In this video, we are going to walk you through how to escalate a Priority 1 incident in ServiceNow for both UC Irvine Health and UC San Diego Health organizations after the split of ServiceNow instances. The first step would obviously to be have a incident record created already in ServiceNow that you're going to escalate. In this case, I've gone ahead and just created one with some basic test information here that I'm going to use. And then the only thing you need to do is just escalate the issue like you normally would. Update the impact to 1, which is how impactful the outage is to the business, and then the urgency that it needs to be fixed, right? So both of those need to be set to a 1 high, which updates the priority value to 1 as well. And then you'll need to go ahead and add some information here. And just some basic information here. Okay, now the only difference will be this notification audience field. Notice how it is grayed out and read only. What this means is that you cannot update it. This will only happen if the category that is selected on the incident record itself is set to UC shared service. This is a new value in the category that we have implemented for the post-split and integration between UC San Diego and UC Irvine Health ServiceNow instances. So any categories that have this marked on it will automatically set the notification audience to shared. And so this will ensure that for services like Epic and others that are still going to be shared services between the organization's information services teams, that we don't allow for any human error here. So we're gonna automatically set this to shared. Now, if it is not automatically set, if the category does not set that, then you can go ahead and manually select shared as you normally do. And then from there, all you need to do is go ahead and click save. And you will get a similar pop-up warning message like you did previously. The only thing different here is the verbiage has been kind of tweaked to better fit the scenario that we are in now, letting the person escalating the issue know that we are going to be escalating to both UCI and UCSD Health, and then click OK to proceed, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do that in this case. And just give it a minute, or not a minute, a couple seconds. And okay, great. So up here, this is what we want to see. We want to see that an incident was generated in UC San Diego Health ServiceNow instance, along with that new incident number that is in their environment of ServiceNow. Additionally, some things to check for is that we log a work note saying that the incident has been generated in their instance as well, either because we've set the notification audience to UC shared, or there was a service category that was flagged as a shared UC service between the organizations, which was the case in this example, right, due to the category field. And then lastly, in the source instance, which is kind of what I'm showing you right here, you'll see the external incident number being logged here. So what does that look like in UCSD's instance, right? So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and refresh my incidents list here. And okay, here's the incident that was generated, right? We can see that the numbers match, right? If I go back here, we're looking for incident 1399426, and that is what we have here, right? This is the incident number that was created. The one thing to note is that obviously the incident numbers won't be the same, right? Because we have a different, databases, right? So we can't have the numbers matching because that number could already exist in the other ServiceNow instance. So we don't want to be overwriting incident numbers, right? So how do we find and correlate those values? I'll get to that in just a second. So while we're viewing this incident from UCSD's environment, anytime they load it or any person that loads it, they're going to get a message at the top of the screen letting them know the incident was automatically generated from UCI and to see the UCI integration fields tab below. And this is going to be the same if it were vice versa. If UCSD generates a P1 that's shared for both sides. So if we pull it up from the Irvine side, this is how it's going to look, right? Notice how most of these fields are read-only, and that's because for shared incident, we're going to have a shared P1 bridge. So it's the same bridge line and page that's going to go out that currently does now. The only difference is going to be the incident numbers. So the rest of this data here is going to be grayed out because we don't want one side or the other changing it. It needs to just be updated from one side, right? So that's why, although the values cross through here for short description and description, we're only going to be allowing that one side to actually change it, the side that generated it, right? And then it's going to be automatically assigned to the service desk at that site, and then they can go ahead and reassign it if necessary, right? A few other things to notice here is that they will get a work note being logged that lets them know the incident was generated by UCI, who escalated it, and why it was escalated, right? And so we kind of see that here, along with any work notes that had been previously entered. So if the priority one was opened at UCI an hour previously before it was changed to be a shared P1, any of those work notes that had been entered on that original P1 will make sure that it carries over automatically to the P1 record that gets generated in UCSD's instance and vice versa as well, right? So that way they have all the notes that have been taken. They also have that same external incident number field here, so that way they can see, they can, when they jump on the line, they'll be able to have that reference number right there to make sure, you know, we're jumping on for the same issue, right? Okay. Same information here too that I had entered in on that other priority one notification, right? Okay, and then the rest of the information that was on the original priority one will be on the integration fields tab. Who was the original customer contact, their information, where was the original location selected for the incident, along with the service line, category, assignment group, and analyst, right? Now, if needed, what's great about this is work notes will go back and forth. So although they can't update any of the other information, work notes will go back and forth. So test reply update. Is this working? When I go ahead and update this, just to give it a second here, okay. Okay, great. It's let me know that that external incident has been updated. So if I go back to that original ticket, I can see who added a work note in the other ServiceNow instance and what that message was, right? So that way, if both sides want to add notes, that's perfectly fine. Now let's say that the short description or description needs to be updated or that it just happens to be updated. Right, we're gonna go ahead and just add some notes here. And then we're gonna go ahead and click save. Okay, it lets me know that that external incident has been updated successfully. And it also lets me know down here as well Now, if I go over to that destination ticket, I can go down here and let me just go ahead and reload. Okay, I can see here that this has been updated, right? And it's gonna load this kind of static message every time here. I can see here we get the new value, the new details. So that carries over along with the work notes, right? So anytime you make changes in the source instance, it's going to be updated in the destination instance along with whatever new work notes were added, right? So that way both sides have the most latest and greatest information, the same data for these shared outages. And then they can go ahead and close their incident whenever they would like. So that is the only change in the process, is going to be that San Diego can go ahead and close their incident out whenever they feel that they're ready, and then we can do the same as well, and that will not affect the other site's incident, right? The only thing that will carry over is if, let's say, we do go ahead and, okay, we've decided, we rebooted the server and that's resolved the issue, just as an example. I'm going to go ahead and, just put in some notes. Just some kind of basic information here. And so the close code and close notes will copy over, but only as a work note. So I'm going to go ahead and click save. Okay, it lets me know this has been resolved and updated. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and refresh my destination instance here, which is San Diego's instance in this example. Notice how the state isn't updated, but if I go to my notes, I can see here that, okay, I received the following update from UCI's instance, and who made the update? Okay, they've gone ahead and closed it out. They've set it to solved, and then these are their closed notes, right? So that way, San Diego has Irvine's notes if Irvine closes theirs out first, and then vice versa. If San Diego were to be the ones creating the incident and they close theirs out first, whatever notes they entered in for close notes and close code will automatically be sent over to Irvine. Now, it won't overwrite the values of those fields, right? Because of the timing. Theoretically, any side can close theirs first. So we're just sending these through as work notes. So that way they don't actually override field values if those fields have been set to a specific value already. So, and that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, please contact the service desk or ServiceNow team. We're going to be happy to help you guys through this process. And that's all. Thank you so much.